What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So today we're actually going to be talking about something that one of you guys sent me in the DMs. So I appreciate that. Whenever you guys see something that you think maybe might make a good video or something that would be interesting to hear my thoughts on or anything like that, I love when you guys send it to me on like in Instagram DMs or whatever, just because I can't be everywhere all at once. So when you guys send me stuff, it just helps a ton. So today what we're going to be talking about is this Instagram post right here from the Instagram Fat Girl Flow. So the caption of this photo: I want to share a really important part of my journey with movement with y'all. I wrote it a long time ago and it got a lot of criticism. It's an article titled F Being Healthy. I know that might be uncomfortable at first. It's scary to think that something we're taught to covet might not be valued by others. But when I started challenging my ideas about why I was so obsessed with health and how harshly I judge people for not bettering themselves and their health, I began to heal. I learned that I am worthy always, not just with a goal in mind, not just when I'm well, but when I'm struggling, sick, tired. So many people in our world are unhealthy by our society's standards. This is my challenge to all of you to start asking why we care so much about health and how we can start the convo to make everyone know their life is worth just as much as the next person's. Link to the article in my bio. So before we go into the whole article that she wrote, because I do kind of want to go over that because there is a lot of interesting stuff in there. But before we go there, you know, with that post, with her picture, and then if you go through her profile, you can see that obviously she is a larger woman. And it's interesting because when I first saw that, I was like, wow, most people that seem to kind of be similar to the things that she posts and all that stuff, they tend to really be focused on the health at every size. Now, I will say 100%, I think that what she is talking about here and the things that she's sharing here, I would say I agree more with this than I do with health at every size. Now, let me explain myself there because obviously I'm not saying that I agree with everything that she's saying, but I do think that with her, at least being honest with the fact that, you know, with her being the size that she is, she's not sitting here trying to say that she's healthy, but she is still, you know, happy with where she's at. I can respect that a lot more than trying to put on this guise of, no, I'm still healthy, I don't have any problems, because again, it's not selling this fake thought to her followers. So like I said, I do want to read the article. It's not that long, so let's go into it. I don't care what you look like as long as you're healthy. We've all heard it. Many of us have nodded along in agreement, quietly disengaging from the well-intentioned person saying it. I wonder how many of you stay quiet like myself. I feel the words bubbling up in my chest every time, but they never escape. I'm not healthy, but can I still love my body? I know the answer, I know it deep down inside of me, but I still question it. Now right there I can say, obviously 100%, if you don't have to be healthy to love your body. And I think that, I mean, I've said this many times in my videos, like when I make these videos and with the stuff that I share, I'm talking to the person that might be, you know, the size that I was and is not happy with their body and isn't happy with how their body is acting, isn't happy with how their body is, just the things that their body is doing because of their size, right? If you are at a larger size and you're not having any problems, or you don't feel the need to get healthy, I'm not going to sit there and say you need to do it. That's not my job. But if you are someone that is larger and you're like, man, I really think that if I decided to lose some weight, I could be healthier and I would just be happier in general with where I'm at in my body, that's what I'm here for, right? That's the person that I'm trying to help. Many of you reading this may also understand the concept that health is subjective and can't be decided or determined by your body size, your BMI, or even how much you work out. Many of us know that health is different for everyone. The battle lies in not looking at health as an end goal or as a goal at all, and ending the belief that someone's health determines their goodness and their wholeness as a human being. And I 100% believe that just because someone's not healthy, that doesn't mean I get to be rude to them or treat them wrongly, and it doesn't mean that anyone else should do that, right? Like, just because someone's healthier, that doesn't mean they deserve anything more than the person that might be unhealthy. And I get really frustrated when people that are maybe similar, have similar beliefs to me, but they treat people that maybe aren't trying to work on their health, or just it's not something that they're really focused on right now, they treat them like they're less of a human being. And I really don't like that. I am not healthy. I have not been healthy for a long time. I love the hell out of my unhealthy body. I stopped striving for health about a year ago. I started questioning what I thought about people who were in outwardly presenting unhealthy bodies. I thought about my grandfather before he died. I thought about friends in wheelchairs. I thought about people with chronic illnesses. I realized I have not been a patient person, and perhaps I have not been kind. I can vividly think of many times that I judged someone for not doing enough to better themselves. There were several times that I chose to not love someone because they were not working hard enough to be their best. I'm not telling you as this is some admission to guilt. I'm telling you this because it's real, because it's where I chose to start healing. Now, right there, I understand where she's coming from, but the one thing that I think there's a disconnect in where I do disagree is that I think the reason that, people that might be dealing with health issues that they were born with, that there's literally nothing they can do about it, right? There's nothing they can do to change that fact. When you look at someone that is very, very large and that their weight is the cause of their unhealthiness, I think that a lot of those people that might have those chronic illnesses that they cannot do anything about, they see someone that is really overweight or maybe someone that is smoking, and they're like, you are doing this to yourself, right? You can change this. You can stop this from happening. And so I think that the biggest thing that we disagree on, me and the girl that wrote this, is that there's a lot of people that seem to think that if you are overweight, there is nothing you can do about it. You can't change that fact. And obviously I don't agree with that. And I really do think if it is something that you want to do, you absolutely can change that fact. You can go from being unhealthy, as she's saying, to actually being healthy. And that is a privilege that those people with those chronic diseases do not have and will never have. A person is not obligated to me or anyone else to be healthy. I am not obligated to be healthy. In fact, I may never be healthy. I may never overcome my disordered eating. I may never be better. And maybe you never will either. And that's okay. We're okay. In fact, we're perfect right now. Now, this is something that I kind of struggle with and disagree with to a certain extent, because I guess you can't say that you owe it to anyone, but when you really look at your sphere of influence and the people that are around you, maybe you're a mom, maybe you're a brother, a sister, or whatever it is, right? Like, you have people around you that depend on you. And especially if you are, a parent to children, I do think in some capacity you kind of owe it to your kids to want to be healthy just so you're around them for a longer time, right? And so again, like, I get where she's coming from here, but I do think there are kind of times where you kind of do owe it to some people to be healthy for them so you're around longer. Our abilities do not determine our worth and never have. They have been placed before us by others as a scapegoat for judgment. Recognizing this has created a new level of self-acceptance and body positivity for me. I am unhealthy. I am whole. I think one of the most interesting parts of this whole blog post is that it almost kind of goes very much in the opposite way of health at every size. And so I would really be curious to hear what, the big players in health at every size think about this post, like the Tess Holidays and other people that are kind of along the same vein as that, because they seem to have similar thoughts. But some people are sitting here saying, you can be whatever weight and be healthy. And then there's other people like her saying, I am this weight and I am definitely not healthy. So I think that that's a very interesting thing. And then at the end here, she has a little edit. So it says, edit, I have received a lot of feedback on this article, and I would like to challenge you to consider what I am and am not saying in this piece. I do not believe in black and white dichotomous thinking. I do not believe that being healthy is better than being unhealthy, just as I don't believe that being unhealthy is better than being healthy. Just like common sense, like I would say that being healthy is probably better than being unhealthy. Again, I understand there are some people that being healthy for them, they can't be 100% healthy. They were born with issues that they cannot do anything about. And I feel obviously feel very badly for them. And I would say that they agree that obviously if they could be healthy, they would rather be that. So this is just like, I don't really understand it, because it's like, then what are you saying? If you're not saying any of those things, then why would you write this article if you're not? It seems like she's like backpedaling and basically being like, I'm not saying anything. You just think whatever you want. I believe that all ways of being are valid and worthy of praise and self-love and acceptance and respect. I agree with that. I think that everyone is worthy of being respected and treated with basic, genuine respect. I don't think there's really many people that are not saying that. And if they are, they're kind of just jerks, right? I believe that many of us fight hard for a level of health that may not be attainable for ourselves, and then mentally beat ourselves up because we can't reach it. Now, again, this is where I disagree. I mean, I think that there's definitely a lot of people that struggle with, you know, like they might not be doing the right thing, or they might just genuinely be really struggling with trying to get healthier and just feeling like they keep falling off the wagon. And like, I agree, that is not a fun place to be, but it seems like a lot of this article is basically saying, I can't get healthy. Like there's no possible way for me to do that. And again, that's obviously where I completely disagree with. I think that it's a lot of work and it's very difficult, but just because it's a lot of work and very difficult doesn't mean that you shouldn't try, you know? I believe that no matter what my past, present, or future may look like, I want to love myself now as I am, and my unhealthy body is part of that. Now, I think that it is absolutely awesome that she wants to love herself, and I think that's very important. I've talked about in the past before how if you are trying to lose weight from a place of self-hatred, right? Like, I hate this so much, I want to lose weight. You know, a lot of times people will see results with that, but the methods that they might be using to actually lose the weight aren't the healthiest because they're doing it from this negative place. And so I think that it is really important to like love yourself, right? Because if you're really going to lose weight and take that time to keep it off for the rest of your life, and that's a lot of work, right? And so you obviously need to love yourself if you want to stick around a lot longer, right? And so again, just disagree there. I really think that this was an interesting article, and I would say my main takeaway from this is if you are someone that is struggling with your weight, I think that I want people to understand that you can change that, right? If you really want to change that, you can. I'm not sitting here saying that if you don't, you're a terrible person and I hope you die early. Like, I would never say that, but I think it's really important to put it out there. Like, if you are struggling with your weight and it's causing you pain, discomfort, or whatever it might be, you can make a change. And I think that it is really important that we can't start comparing being overweight or having obesity as the same as being born with an illness that you can't do anything about. I don't think it's fair to those people that are struggling with those illnesses, because if you are overweight or if you're a smoker or anything like that, right, you can change that fact. Now, if you don't want to change that fact, that's up to you, but to compare it to that type of disease, whatever it might be, I think that's wrong. But again, I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section. This was a really interesting one. I honestly I can't even say that I have 100% strong opinions either way. I know what I kind of think, but I would really love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look up my fam.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.